welcome back to OK TV. We've still got lots to come today.
We'll be looking at the latest wag craze. Footballers are out and rugby players are in.
Rugby players. But first, it's time to meet tonight's special guest. She's had Lads Mag's favourite and is famed for her killer curves. But these days, she's as much about brains as she is about beauty.
Caprice is here to talk business and to encourage more ladies to get involved. But before we meet her, let's take a look at her varied career.
Caprice made her debut into UK modelling back in 1996. During her career, she graced the covers of over 300 magazines, as well as being named GQ's Woman of the Year. Caprice is also a successful businesswoman, designing her very own range of lingerie in 2006 with her personal savings. The By Caprice brand is now sold all over the world, cementing Caprice as an established female entrepreneur.
Caprice, lovely to have you here.
Oh, thank
you.
you.
Hi, low five. Now, I want to talk about your career, because you've had a glittering, varied career. You started off with modelling. Does it still give you the excitement as it once did?
No.
No?
Oh, I can't.
The buzz is gone.
You know, I mean, it doesn't really take Einstein to look at the camera and to make a garment look good. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Okay, it's a little bit of a...
It's very honest of you to say that.
But it's kind of true. I mean, now that I've entered the whole business world, and before, I used to think, oh my God, these hours of this traveling. But now, I'm really working for a living. I'm working hard. So when you see the difference, you really appreciate what you had.
However, your modelling career did enable you to get the savings to start up your own business, and you were one of the most photographed women in the world with over 300 magazine covers, which is amazing.
That's ridiculous.
What do you think gave you the staying power in the modelling business?
You know what, well, you know, when you look after yourself, and I treated it as a business. I wasn't out partying and going crazy and being, okay, sometimes there was a little frivolousness going on. But a little bit of drama is good for the press, so it's okay. But I really looked at it as a business. And then when I got into my 30s, I was really realistic, and I thought, holy smokes, I'm over the hill. I got to really think about what's the next step. Otherwise, you know, what do I do? So that's when I thought, okay, what is everyone going to buy into? And I thought, well, underwear. So I couldn't do it myself. I couldn't facilitate this. I didn't know what the heck to do. So I entered into a license deal. And that's how I learned about my target market. That's how I learned about the nature of the business and how to negotiate and how to make underwear and factories and et cetera, et cetera. And then I bought back my license and I started it with my own money from the modeling days. So it's just been kind of like an interesting, you know, evolution for me. But a lot of people do straightforward license deals, which means I'll give you my name and you'll give me between 5 to 10%.
Lots of celebrities are doing it at the moment, aren't they?
They're all doing it. And I chose to go the hard way, like a dum-dum. But I'm making more money.
Like a smart one.
And this is, you know, this is my future. This is the future for my children.
And it seems like you really, really genuinely enjoy it, Caprice. Why do you think there aren't more women in business?
That's a really good question, because I think it's quite scary. You know, I've adapted, obviously, because I am an American, quite an aggressive kind of personality where I jump into the deep end. I don't think about the repercussions. I don't think, oh my goodness, I can't do it. Half the battle is in your head, guys. And I knew I could do it. And then again, I had the liquidity as well. So I had a bit of cash. And I just went for it. And a lot of people in this country, I find, are quite reluctant and maybe a little bit scared. So half the battle is up here.
So having had your experience, what would your advice be to budding female entrepreneurs?
I'd say go for it. Our instincts are much better and our staying power is much better. And
I'd agree with that.
Absolutely.
I'm going to jump in here, because for you both, how hard is it for a lady to do well in business? Is there an extra pressure?
You know what, it is. We have to be realistic. In this country, I find it still to be a little bit the man's world. And even for me, it was very, very difficult to gain that credibility. And even with, you know, I was at the height of my notoriety, and I was still having a hard time getting the appointments.
To be taken seriously as a businesswoman?
Absolutely.
As Caprice?
As Caprice, the businesswoman, as opposed to Caprice,
the
model. The model, the stereotypical, oh, she's a model, she can't do it, you know, whatever. You know, there was a lot of doubt, there was a lot of skepticism. So it took me a few years to gain that credibility, and when I had it on paper, then people started to say, whoa, okay, but it was still slow move, so it was the persistence. you know.
But your results speak for themselves now. But while you're on here, got to ask about something that's quite topical for us here at Channel 5 at the moment. You were on Big Brother back in 2005, the celebrity version.
Yeah.
We've got it back at the channel. It's going to be starting in the summer. Was that something you enjoyed? Would you want to go back into the house?
Okay, now should I do a little fibber or should I
Tell us
the truth?
Spill the beans, Caprice. Spill the beans.
Can I tell you, it was difficult. I mean, emotionally, it was difficult. One, I was on evil, horrible, pain in the tushy Big Brother. You know what I mean? Where they really messed with your head, and to be with a whole bunch of you know, celebrities and the egos and the different personalities in such a confined premises. I mean,
That's what makes the great TV.
Oh,
but not great when you're in there.
At our expense, you know what I mean? So, I mean, obviously, it's a great marketing tool, and I've always said it. I said it back then. And if the money's good, yeah, I might go in.
So you use that as a business tool in itself?
Absolutely.
Okay, to forward the brand of Caprice, the businesswoman.
It's all about the brand.
Surely there was some highlights of being on Big Brother, though. Was
you know
there
what?
any good part of it?
Well, maybe not. No, I'm just joking. I met a very good friend of mine, Lisa Jansen, who is still one of my closest and my dearest friends. And so I gained a really valuable and a really special friendship out of it. And overall, again, I know I just sound like just a business machine here.
Good, I like
that.
this.
It's interesting.
But this is, yeah.
You're honest, and I like that.
It was really, really great for the business. And, you know, I gave 25 grand to my charity, Childline, which was beyond amazing. And it was a great vehicle because at the time the journalists were writing about me and making up whatever the heck they wanted. And this was a great vehicle for people to say, wow, okay, I really like Caprice, or I really don't like Caprice, but at least I'm getting to know the real Caprice.
Yeah. It worked out very well for you, and it's been great having you on the show today. Thanks so much, Caprice.
Thank you. I could talk to you for days. Thank you very much for coming in. Cheers. Now, Colin Rooney and Alex Curran are just a few of the wags that you've heard about on the headlines over the last few years, and they've made a pretty decent career out of being married to a footballer.
But these days, it's all about the rugby wags, and unlike the football wives and girlfriends, they were famous before they met the fellas.
Yeah, rugby all the way. Here's Minnie.